Hi guys!
Hi!
I'm Elena and this is my mom Michela, and today we're gonna show you how to make traditional Italian pasta from scratch.
Here's what you're gonna need. First, flour. So this one on the left is regular white flour, and then the one on the right is durum wheat semolina flour, I believe that's how it's called. You can only use this one or only use that one, but if you mix them, they will give you a better consistency while you're making the dough and also after you cook it, because using only white flour will make them really soft, and since we like to cook it al dente, the semolina flour helps give them a little less soft, if that makes sense. Usually my mom will use 2/3 of this flour and then 1/3 of this flour, and then we use warm water. My mom just put it on the stove to just make it warmer, and then you'll use this to just help you get the flour and just the dough while you're making it off of your surface, and a knife. So this type of knife is a lot better because once you're shaping the pasta, we'll show you later how to do it, but it'll give the pasta surface that's not like really smooth. That helps because it'll be easier for the sauce or whatever it is to kind of stick on the pasta while you're eating it. And finally, a wooden board as your surface to work on. If you don't have one of those, you can use like a marble type countertop or just really something that won't get scratched. Now we're mixing the two flours a little bit. And then we're making a groove in the middle of the mixture and slowly adding warm water. The reason we make a groove is that it's easier for the water. It's just to prevent the water from floating around the whole board and getting on the table and all of that. It's easier to keep it contained if we put it in that little groove. And like you're seeing right now, we are mixing it. We can't really give you a specific amount of water that you'll need because it's really just slowly adding water until the mixture is homogeneous. So you'll see what the result looks like. So there's never really a specific amount that you're gonna add. It's usually just play by ear. No, that's exactly what you want to prevent. See how you can use that tool to incorporate all the flour that gets stuck on the board. Dough will stick to your hands, and that's normal. Just try and get it off. You can use some water on your hands and on the dough like my mom did just right now to help you get it off your hands. And keep doing it until it's actually homogeneous. See how it's starting to get there compared to what we had at the beginning. Okay, our dough is ready now. You can easily tell if it's ready or not when doing this job with your hands. The dough doesn't rip off or break like you can see now. When you're done, so about now, you need to put it in a clean plastic bag or in a bowl. Just like cover it with anything, and you want to make sure it's covered because you don't want air to dry it out. As you can see here, we got some trays ready to put our pasta in. So you can do two things. You can either cover it in flour, or you can use clean dishcloth or something similar. Our dough has been in this bowl, but it's not there to rest or anything. It's just to keep there while we're doing things so that it doesn't dry out while we're doing things. It doesn't need to rest for a specific time. sometimes it can happen that the dough will slide, like you can see now, and you're not able to actually roll it. So all you need to do is get your hands wet a little bit and just keep going and see how it just rolls out normally now. Okay, then you can see my mom took a little piece of dough and started doing this snake-like shape, and then she's cutting it in little pieces about this big. I would say 1 or 2 centimeters long. And also, of course, this is specific to the pasta shape we are making, but then there is a lot of different shapes that require different lengths. Okay, so first of all, this is the pasta shape that we're making. They're called orecchiette, which means little ears or small ears, because they look like little ears. And they're traditional from the south of Italy, a region called Puglia, which is where my parents are originally from. So this pasta is really close to our hearts. And just for the sake of it, my mom is gonna tell you how to say that in dialect. Mamma, digli come si chiamano in dialetto.
Hi! Strascineto.
And now we're gonna show you how to make them. So here's kind of an overview of how you make them. My mom is really fast, but we'll show you how to make them slowly. Okay, so you're gonna have the knife on one hand, and you're gonna use the thumb from one end to kind of stop the little piece of dough against the knife, and you're gonna hold the knife at a little bit of an angle. Then you're gonna have this movement of kind of sliding the dough against the board with the knife. Then you pick it up and you turn it upside down. You can see how the pasta has little wrinkles on it almost, and that's what the knife not being smooth does. So the more you push against the dough, the more you're gonna have these little wrinkles. And that's what I was talking about when I said that these are going to kind of hold on to the sauce when you're eating them. But also, practice will teach you how much strength you have to put in when you do this, because if you put in too much, then you'll break the dough. If you don't put enough, then it just won't be as wrinkly almost, and they may be like too thick, which I mean is okay, but they'll cook differently. Now my mom will show you how putting too much strength will break them. But it's okay, you can just mix it again and try one more time. And you can really just do it as many times as you need. And there you go. Okay, little pro tip. Since a lot of us are quarantined right now, and some of you I'm sure are home with their kids and trying to find something for them to do, they can totally help you out with this without having to use a knife. Even when I was young, I would help my aunt and grandma make them, and of course I couldn't use a knife because I was really young and it wasn't safe. So of course you're not gonna be exactly the same. They'll be like less wrinkly like we've said, but it still works out. So you probably want a little smaller pieces because your thumb is just not going to be as big as the knife. So I kind of would cut this in half, and then you can try it out based on your kids' hands, I guess. And then you want to do the same movement that you do with the knife with your thumb. So you do this,
And then you turn it upside down, and here you go. You still got the shape, but without using a knife. Okay, our pasta is ready now. You'll notice it'll dry out a little bit, which is totally fine. Now we're ready to cook it. So my mom made some meat sauce to go with it, but you can also do tomato sauce if you're like vegetarian. I really like mushrooms and sausage, for example. That's something else you can use, or just really anything you like. But that's what we're doing today. And then we have some water boiling. Well, it's not boiling yet, but we put some salt in it and we're waiting for it to boil. Okay, water is boiling now, so it's time to put the pasta in. So what my mom does is that she just kind of does this because the pasta will have dried out by now a little bit. So if you do this, you're not going to really ruin it anyways. It's pretty rigid by now. So now that all the pasta is in there, we wait for it to boil again, and then we set a timer on for about, I would say maybe 5 minutes. Keep in mind, this is fresh pasta, so it's going to take less time to cook than the pasta you buy in a box. So it's ready, and we can drain it now. You can add some cheese if you like it. And now it's time for the sauce. Ready. Okay, we're done. Thanks for watching. We hope you learned something today. And we're gonna go eat our pasta now. Bye. Ciao.